Yeah. LA Leakers.
Right.
Sour Milk. Just incredible.
What's up, guys?
Yes.
How you
Homies
doing?
are here.
Hold on. We got to get this right. I don't want to mess up the name. Majid?
That's right.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was Majid or Majid.
No, Majid.
Majid.
Yeah, Majid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it. That's
Okay.
right.
Oh,
That's right.
or it could have been Majid.
Yeah, or I've even heard Mahid.
Mahid.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
it.
because Spanish, the J
Yeah.
is silent,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know? But yeah, no, it's Majid, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
and wait, and I don't want to confuse the two. Which one's which?
I'm Majid,
I'm Jordan.
Okay.
and we're Majid Jordan.
Hey, man. We got Toronto in here,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
One of you guys is from, is it Bahrain?
Bahrain.
Bahrain.
Yeah, Bahrain. So that's where I grew up, where I was born, where my family live. It's a tiny island in the Middle East, but it's full of like really, really good people.
Man.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing. And you guys met University of Toronto?
Yeah. We met at University of Toronto. He was in his first year. I was in my last year. And yeah, we just bonded over music. And I was like, I'm graduating soon. Before I leave back to Bahrain, I would love to take a piece of music with me.
Crazy.
And it ended up becoming our first mixtape under the name Good People, After Hours. Yeah, which he produced and mastered and mixed entirely himself.
And why the name change?
Well, I mean, it's like Good People at the time when we were coming up, you know, it was a very, you know, there was a lot of things that were coming out with the name Good People. There was like a movie, there was a play, there was a thing, there was maybe even another group.
Got the good music.
Yeah, good music,
Yeah,
so many things in that realm. We still are attached to that name Good People, you know, and people still know us as good people. So, you know, I appreciate that, and that is a very important piece of us. I think, you know, that's what we bonded over initially. So yeah, I just think, you know, it's kind of cool. We have that moment when we meet fans and friends. It's like, oh, you're Majid. Oh, wait, you're Majid Jordan. You know, so like that moment is always fun, man. Like it doesn't get old. You know, it's like because people don't really. Sometimes, you know, we keep our faces in the dark. You know, hard to recognize. So when we meet people, it's like, oh, wait a minute, you're Majid. I say my name, and then he'll say Jordan, then immediately like the lights click.
Yo, that's crazy, man. And so from there, man, it was a SoundCloud release only, right?
Yeah.
The first project.
Yeah,
and then
EP.
so how
It actually the EP came out on iTunes as well.
Oh,
Place
did it?
like this. Yeah. It released. We put it up on SoundCloud after the iTunes release.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then from there, how does that OVO thing happen? Like who's the
Oh
first?
wait!
Yeah,
you're
you're
talking about the
talking about
mixtape.
After
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. After I was strictly
Strictly
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were like not signed to anybody. It was just independent, just us
Yeah.
releasing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then so how does the connection happen though? Who's the first person to reach out to you, or is that something that goes back?
It basically starts there, but like basically when we made a SoundCloud, it was just Good People with Toronto, Canada. So we didn't include our names in it, and we just, you know, for different reasons.
Yeah.
And so we just put out 8 tracks, and then Majid actually got an email, and then
Crazy.
Yeah.
Right off of the SoundCloud.
it was like
It was up
24
for
hours,
it was
no?
up for
Yeah.
a day, and
Yeah.
Really?
yeah. It just fell into the hands of Noah Shabib, 40. you
Oh,
know,
so
and
he's the one that reached out to you
he
first?
was the first person to hear it from the OVO camp, and you know,
Crazy.
passed it on to Drake, passed it on to Oliver, passed it on to all the guys, and they were all like on the same page. And I guess he just emailed me and was like, listen, I want to meet you. I want to know more about your story. Where are you from? Who are you? Because you can just see Toronto, Canada, but no other information. At this time, I'm already out of the country.
Yeah.
Jordan's still there. I don't want to tell Jordan I got this email because I know how much he loves producing music, and I don't want to get his hopes up. And at the same time, I didn't know who 40 was really at the time, because he's kind of behind the scenes. So it's like all this like anticipation, mystery happening so quickly.
Yeah.
But you know, it like changed our lives. That email changed our lives.
That was actually another thing I wanted to ask. How far along was Drake in his career at this point when 40 had reached out to you?
This was after Take Care.
Yeah, right after Take Care.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Take Care was out, and they were sort of in the beginning phase of figuring
creating
out,
something new.
where they want to go next, just before Nothing Was the Same.
Man.
So it was in that time.
Yeah.
And then boom, hold on, we're going home.
Is the song? Yeah.
The entrance.
Yeah. So you know,
But it was basically like, more or less, the name change happened around the time of when we were in the studio making Hold On, We're Going Home.
Right.
You know, because we were Good People, and at that point, you know, Hold On came out like a year after we were in talks with OVO.
Okay.
Yeah.
So during that time, we were in the studio. We were just still calling ourselves Good People with the intention of coming up with a new name.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it was actually like 40 one day just in the studio, like, yo, why don't you just make it Majid Jordan?
Yeah,
You know what I
it's
mean?
Majid and Jordan. You guys are always here.
So
And I remember him calling me on the phone and being like, yo, what do you think of Majid Jordan?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. It took us like,
I mean, everybody kind of just heard it. It was like,
Yeah.
It has a
it was
ring.
right in front of
Yeah,
us. You
yeah.
know, like it should be like that.
and it's
so.
cool, you know,
yeah.
because I really feel like together musically, Jordan and I are one entity. You know,
Right.
this is like there's no me or him. You know, when it comes to that, personal opinions and all of these things we sort out on the side. But like when it comes to making music, it's like we have this real connection.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really what I believe is the biggest strength. You know, for us.
Definitely.
And how often do people come up to you thinking you're one person?
Yeah, a lot. People know, you know, mostly my face because, you know, in the visuals and stuff depicted, it's like I'm doing a lot of the actions and things, and Jordan is like sort of in the video, he's sort of in the shadows, but that's like just Jordan. He's kind of an alien.
Mysterious.
Yeah. He's alien
I
grey.
should
You
be
know?
doing the interview like this.
Yeah, Jordan would be doing the interview like this.
Yeah,
So yeah.
When you're
But,
getting all that ass thrown at you, I'm sure you gotta keep your face hidden, bro.
Don't want to
Listen.
get caught up out
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Listen, I don't blame you,
Oh,
bro.
God.
I do not blame you.
So yeah, no, people mistake us for one person, but also, you know, they haven't gotten the chance to see us live. We haven't done a lot of press. You know,
Right.
the more stuff we're putting our faces out there now. You know, people are starting to realize we're two people, and of course, you know, this group would not exist without Jordan.
Of course, no.
Nothing would have existed.
Likewise,
Yeah,
like,
good people.
same
You know what I
shit.
mean? It's like we feel the same. So
The
it's like-
duo is
Yeah,
the chemistry is
it
amazing.
is. It is. You know, and that's really where I feel like.
Now rewinding back to the Hold On record, how did what was that experience like in that studio? Because now at this point, you realize who you're in there with, and
Yeah.
I mean, what an opportunity.
Definitely.
You know?
I mean, it was just like really learning, like right when we really started to make music together, we weren't looking at music as like we were making it like as a collaboration between two people. We were making music, like he said, as like one entity.
Yeah.
So when we got into the studio and we were really working on that record, we like really learned a lot about songwriting and collaboration and what you can do with it and the strengths and weaknesses of people in the room and everything like that. Like you learn so much about the depth and how far you can take music.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's so much to learn.
Absolutely.
It's like limitless.
I feel like, you know, it was also like all the intent was there. You know, we were making music for ourselves, and Drake and 40 had a vision for what they wanted to create. So, you know, that like inspiration that we all borrowed from one another all happened to create that song.
So ironic
there.
that the name was Good People. I love the aura around all of that. You know, I could just picture all you guys in that studio,
Yeah, man.
just all good people. You know what I mean?
We all see eye to eye on so many things, and we take so much from those guys. Like we've learned so much, you know, and just how to, you know, be yourself, how to believe in your music, believe in what you're doing, you know, how to treat people, how to all of that. They know they really set an amazing standard.
Yeah.
Now, Jordan, you said the best way to see the future is see yourself in it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember saying that, but
yeah, I remember. Yeah.
now, be honest. Did you guys see yourselves working with the biggest artists in the world? Like, I don't know if that really
Jordan,
sunk in yet,
Like,
but
listen. I'm actually gonna be so honest with you. Like this, like what I said. Like the best way to look at future is to see yourself in it. It's like you really need to take that literally, in my opinion, because since I was like 12 years old, I could tell you I wanted to be a music producer. So it wasn't necessarily like wanting to work with Drake.
yeah.
But I really wasn't gonna give up. Like I'm pretty relentless with it, to the point of like I'm gonna work with somebody. You know, so it was just like having that mindset even while I'm making music, to be like, yo, I can keep pushing myself. You know, keep like, it's like a lot of self-discipline and like just being in the studio and putting in work. Because
Learning how to use software.
yeah, like there's
so many different.
We're at a point in music right now where it's like it's a lot about the technology. So it's like, if you're really good at programs, like you're halfway there.
Yeah.
I'm not lying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously there's like a huge creative part, and like you don't really need programs. You don't need to lean on it. But like, if you're really good at programming, like you don't really need to know much about music to make a beat today.
Yeah.
Which is like the crazy part about it. So it's just about the time putting into anything that you love.
Yeah.
I believe. You know, it's not even about music.
What do you guys feel is some of the since a place like this EP, what do you guys feel you guys have grown the most since then? You know, fast forward into today.
I think Jordan and I, like, the conversations that we're having about music now are occurring more outside of the studio. You know, as opposed to while we're making the songs, we're thinking about them maybe, you know, while we're just having a walk, you know, talking, like just watching something, like, and just like seeing, you know, like, okay, we're not going to go in and create something right now, but let's put this idea in our head and then let it sit for a little bit. And then when it's time to create, it's not like we're all these thoughts, we have to like start thinking them fresh, you know. It's like we've had these ideas for a little bit, so we really know where we want to feel them and take them, you know.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of conversations nowadays that are just based on like what type of mindset can we put ourselves in,
and also
then we'll make the record, you know, because then you're halfway there, you know. It's just like working.
Yeah, and also, like, I think our experiences have played a big role, you know, like being able to go on tour, you know, our tour that's coming up, that started in San Francisco. It's like being on stage in front of people and having that real live interaction and seeing how the music is living and breathing firsthand, you know what I mean? When you can see that and you see what's really connecting and what's really traveling, it's like, okay, I know that this is a special moment. How can I recreate that moment in another song? You know what I mean? This is something, you know, like, even like, you know, an example is like, you know, put your hands up in the sky, you know, like that's like a chant you would say to a crowd, you know what I mean? But it ends up in a song, you know? So just little things like that.
And when you see it at your concerts, you realize like how important those parts of the songs are.
Yeah, they are, exactly.
And to touch on Drake again, now does being signed to something that successful and that big, does that add pressure, like, for you guys?
Well, I mean, you know, when you feel like you have something to prove, you know what I mean, like, and like, but we really, like, we started making music out of a place that is really just for us, you know what I mean? So that pressure, like, it was always like we had people around us and ourselves that was like, it was sort of like we could handle it, you know what I mean? It's like,
it was a good pressure.
We
wanted to be in
it was
the
like
studio.
encouraging,
So,
you know,
exactly.
validating, inspiring. Not so much
not so
like
much pressure, stigma of the pressure.
Not really like a chokehold on you.
The thing that I love about your music, I love many things about your music, but this is the way that you stick to your sound and stay so true to what you believe in. When one of your songs comes on, it doesn't sound like nothing else. Crazy. You know what I mean? And it's really refreshing, man. Really refreshing. Who were some of your guys' musical influences growing up? Who were some people that were, you know, your parents were listening to that inspired you?
I mean, I feel like I touched a lot of different areas of music, you know. Even like my process of learning how to produce, I started like analog with a tape recorder while I was like, my dad was giving me like Jimi Hendrix vinyls and, you know,
crazy
classic rock shit. And then I went into electronic music because I wanted to learn those softwares, and that was like what I was into. Got into a lot of house music, techno, trance, all that shit. So yeah, it was just like, and then my mom had like all like the Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson. Like I used to listen to Michael Jackson like every single day. My mom, like, she only really knows Michael Jackson. You know, like I don't know if it's just my mom, but like you ask her like what type of music do you like, and she's like Michael Jackson.
It's like a whole genre of music.
Like for real, it's a whole genre.
Yeah, my mom was like Michael Jackson, and my pop was like Elvis Presley.
Exactly.
And that was
my mom used to listen to Elvis Presley.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like
like in the ghetto. She used to love that.
My dad would put on all the Elvis movies, and it was just like all Elvis weekends sometimes.
It's like,
but it influences
from like one of the greatest.
That's right.
Know? So it's like those type of artists are really special. Like we grew up with listening to like Daft Punk and artists that really made their own lane. So I think that's a part of what we're trying to do.
Very cool, man.
And what's next for you guys, like on the music tip? Who do you guys see yourself working with in the future? Who do you want to work with in the future?
Well, we've been doing a lot of things other than like making music at this point, so we're excited to get back in and just like reconnect on the ideas that we've been making, because you know sometimes we can create separately and then bring ideas to one another. So you know, getting in the studio with each other. I'm excited to be with Elangelo and working on some stuff with him again soon. Excited to be working with 1985 again soon. You know, super talented, amazing guy. So yeah, those are really like the people that I'm really excited to get back into the studio with. You know,
You guys have, you know, a great worldly sound, and one of my favorite songs off this project is Pacifico.
Crazy.
How did that song come together?
Yeah, well, Pacifico.
We made it out
I
here,
was,
too.
yeah, we made it. I recorded it out.
LA?
Yeah, we recorded it out here. I sang it out here, but it came. So there's this dice game that I was playing in Bahrain with my boys, and it was like late night, and it's like a dice game with 5 dice.
Okay.
And you just roll the dice, and you have to like hold the dice, and there's numbers on the dice, and it's kind of like bullshit. You know, you have to say I've got like 5 5s. You know what I mean? No one can see your dice. But if you don't have 5 5s, you take someone else's dice, and they lose the dice. Whoever loses all their dice first wins.
Okay.
So the name of the game is Pacifico, and then we were on the Pacific coast, and I was like, okay, cool, this is pretty dope. You know what I mean? Like, I like the name Pacifico. Where can we take this? And I kind of wanted to create this like idea of this vehicle being the Pacifico, which is like a car. And so you're getting in the car and you're asking the car, where are we going to go next? You know?
Yeah.
Pacifico,
Dope.
where do we go? You know, speakers in the ceiling. It's got marble on the floor. Like, it's like you're in this house and you're about to get in this car and you're taking the long way home. You left some keys on the thing and you're driving with no destination. And that's a lot of the time, that's how we listen to our music.
Yeah,
you know, the car that we're in is the Pacifico.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Cool, man.
Now you said you recorded that in LA.
Yeah.
To backtrack a little bit, your guys' first like the free project you put out was recorded in the dorm room. Is that
Dorm
correct?
room
Yeah.
and my parents' basement.
So how does the process change for you guys, man? Like going from a dorm room or a
It
basement.
really doesn't, man. Like we're living in a house now out here, and we like set up a makeshift studio in the theater room. So it's just like wherever the vibe is, man. Like wherever you can make a vibe. We've written record. We wrote her in a car.
Crazy.
Like, on the way back from
Chicago,
to
driving from
Toronto.
Chicago to Toronto.
I was just like on Bluetooth, and Maj was in the front just writing to it, and we basically came up with that whole record in like 8 hours.
Yeah, and like we're driving. I remember we're driving from Chicago back to Toronto, and he's sitting like producing it in the back with the aux cord going to the front. I'm like recording voice notes on my iPhone, singing her, and then like this cop car like pulls us over, and he's like straight out with the flashlight, like, "What are you guys doing here, man? What are you guys doing here?"
Right.
And then he like we pull down the window. He like points the flashlight at Jordan. He's got his computer out, and Jordan's just like. and he's like, "What are you doing there, hotshot, surfing the web?" And he goes, he goes, "No, officer, I'm writing a paper." And the guy felt super bad. He's like, "Oh, this guy's just like trying to get his degree."
Just window up like super slow, like that motherfucker. Like, let's get back to this track. Let's get back to making this.
Yeah.
Yo, so and real quick too, man, I wanted to ask you guys what was like, you know, the first, I guess, surreal moment for you guys as artists, but there wasn't like a long period of time from when you put that first project out to when 40 reached out to you. So you guys didn't really get a chance to be heard by many people before that happened, right?
Yeah, I think, you know, that's part of why 40 wanted to talk to us so quickly. You know, it was part of like, okay, I heard this. I want to make sure that I can see where, you know, these guys are capable of going, or how we can collaborate with them. And yeah, that was pretty much it. No one really heard the music, and
That's crazy.
it's fine. You know, for us, we didn't expect anybody to hear the music that we had made for that project. But Jordan, I remember you messaging me and being like, I have a really good feeling about this project. I want to put it on SoundCloud. Because initially, I just had a CD that I had burned. And I was just riding around to it in my car and showing my friends.
Yeah.
Being like, yo, listen, in Canada, I met this guy, Jordan. This is what I recorded. What do you guys think? And they're like, yeah, this is cool. Like, what are you going to do with it? And I was like, yeah, I don't really know. It's just a piece of music that we made. And then he put it on SoundCloud, and then all of that stuff happened. And I remember I took all my friends out to dinner, and I'm like, listen, guys, I think, you know, I'm going to leave Bahrain and go back to Canada. They're like, what? You just got back? I'm like, yeah, I might go meet Drake and 40 and get signed. And Jordan was right, you know?
Yo.
He saw himself in the future. He does that a lot.
You definitely put it into fruition, man. You definitely spoke it into existence.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to, you know?
You know, you do, man. It's so true. It's so true. And then, you know, landing in the studio with a guy like 40, man, the genius.
I mean,
of 40.
When he got the email, so they were talking while he was back in Bahrain. And so I was back in Toronto, and, you know, I didn't know who 40 was.
Right.
So when he told me, I had to like look it up and stuff, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is Drake's producer and stuff. But only when I like really met 40 and walked into the studio, I was like, yo, I don't know anything about producing, bro. Like, I've never been in the studio. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and he's like just a wizard with everything, bro.
Right.
Pro Tools don't test.
Yeah.
Like,
Special. Right.
I just remember meeting 40, sitting down and being like, I've never met somebody like this in my life.
Yeah.
He seems like that kind of guy.
So
man, from the
that's
outside looking
that,
in.
and same thing with Jordan, you know, and a lot of that's happened with a lot of the people that we have in our circle. You know, it's like I've never met somebody like you. It's crazy, you know.
Just responsible for so many amazing records over the last 5-6 years, man.
It's incredible.
It's got to be a great experience there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the song "Small Talk," another great one off of the project, man. Let's talk about that song.
Yeah. Small Talk is like might be one of my favorite tracks on the album. Maybe one of the favorite tracks like we've ever made.
It's a great song.
Yeah,
great song, man.
Thank you. Yeah, when we made it, I don't know. I just like there's this sound that I used a lot in a lot of the records, and it's like an electric piano sound.
Yeah,
it's like that really full type of keys sound, right? And I just like found this like progression that was just like silky, and I was just sitting in the studio and just listening to that beat. And then the way we track the vocals, and it's almost like Majid's ad-libs are like he's talking to himself, and you can't really hear which one's the ad-lib. You know, it's like two people singing. Yeah. So there's just some like magic to that record for me.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just like it brings me to another level.
And the lyrics are so transparent, man. We all could relate.
Yeah.
How important is it when you're writing these songs?
Well, that song for me, because I knew how important it was to Jordan. You know, we had a conversation about where should we take this lyrically. I remember talking about like, I got a call on you. I got a call on you. It's like at that time maybe wanting to speak to somebody that you don't really have that contact with anymore. Yeah. So it was relatable for both of us at the time, you know what I mean? So it was more so it came out of a conversation between the two of us, and because it was like a really honest moment in our lives, I guess it translates, you know, like and it's amazing, you know, how far music can reach that way.
Yeah, great work, man.
Sorry, this is a little all over the place, man, but to backtrack a little again, the Drake Going Home record, was that originally a record for you guys that turned into a Drake record, or what was the plan with that?
No, at that time we were just making music, so there were so many songs, you know what I mean, and we were just sharing ideas.
Yeah, like people were like running around the studio. There's like 6 different rooms, and like I'd bring in my laptop and like show 40 like 30 seconds and be like, okay, I'm gonna go back to the studio.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think?
What I mean? So it was just like everybody was just interchanging all the ideas. Yeah, but we were in the studio like with the intention of just writing with everybody in that studio.
Yeah, so contributing something to somebody that was there. You know what I mean?
We actually made King City in that time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, yeah. So it's just like, you know, we were just sharing music, and then it just happened to be we shared that song, and Drake heard it and liked it that way, and then knew exactly where he wanted to take it. Yeah. And 40 knew exactly how big that song was going to be. He told us before it was finished. And that's how you know these guys are pop song writers. You know what I mean? They know. Yeah,
it's crazy because when we share music, it doesn't really. It turns out it's a little different. I don't know.
Yes, you got a gift there.
I think you guys are onto something, man. You gotta, you know.
That's funny, man.
So now you're doing the headlining tour, man. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Super excited for you guys.
Yeah, man. So are we.
You know, what's that feeling like running around and on your first headlining? This is your first headlining tour.
Yeah, it was our first one. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Is this the first tour period for you guys, or?
Yeah, this is the first tour. We did like a small run of 5 shows. 3 of them were private shows, just for, you know, people that were friends and family that had supported us. You know, because you know it's been a little time since we've actually put ourselves out there, and we met a lot of people on the way to this journey. Yeah. So it was like a moment for us to be able to give back to them, you know, go to Chicago where we came up with the inspiration for Her, and sing to people that were around us at that time, and go to Montreal and sing to people that hosted us in the city during the summer, go to Toronto and sing to, you know, Drake and the OVO family for, you know, developing us and allowing us this opportunity. So those were the 3 private shows, and then we did an open show in Vancouver. Both our sisters flew out and surprised us. So we got to share that with the family, you know, it was amazing. And then we did one show just on the way back in Calgary, which was just like, you know, a Canadian city that I feel like is starving for musical talent, because, you know, they sort of get forgotten, you know, amongst the other big cities. So it was kind of cool to be able to go there and connect with fans. So as our first headlining tour, man, we've been ready for this, I think, for the last year, you know, to go on tour and give people the chance to meet us and sing the songs live and actually feel them with the energy that we want to put into them, you know. Jordan has really built an incredible set and transitions, and it really breathes. I mean, my boy.
You got to hear this guy live.
I mean, my panties are getting wet now, just, you know, but that's beside the point. But yo, talk to us about what goes on the road real quick, man, because your fans, it's a different type of sexy. Not to compare, like, I don't want to name any other R&B artists, but would you guys consider yourself R&B, electro?
We're definitely influenced by R&B, 100%. You know what I mean? A lot of the music that I listened to growing up was R&B.
Yeah.
Like we like to say, you know, dream funk R&B.
Dream funk R&B, R&E maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I dig it. Yeah. But yo, so you know, like, fans of you know, other R&B artists, you know, girls are cute, but you guys have sexy like real, like, fly bitches. Pardon, you know, excuse my language. Like,
well,
like,
you know,
bad bitches.
For me, like, when we're talking about fans and you want to talk about sexy, for me, I just want empowered people who feel empowered. People who feel empowered is important, and that itself is sexy. You know, it doesn't matter what you look like, where you're from. It's just the way. If you feel empowered, the way you carry yourself and speak and connect with people, it's within you, and that is sexy. You know, so that's what I hope is showing up. You know, and being there and singing that song.
That's how you do it right there. See, I would have said some crazy shit. He kept it smooth, like, I like, he got the answers, bro. I asked him something earlier. He gave me the slickest shit I've ever heard in my life, bro. He says something like, half the beauty is not knowing, some crazy shit. Yeah, I was like, bro, I don't even know how to reply to that. You know what I'm saying? But
man, much continued success to you guys. Thank you, you know, for dropping by. Whenever you're in LA, you got a home here at Power 106.
Thank you so much.
LA Leakers got nothing but love for y'all, man. And
thank you very much.
Congratulations on everything, gentlemen. For
Thank
real,
you for
real.
support.
And keep throwing them vibes our way, man. We have fun playing them and riding around to them. So
they'll be coming tonight, man.
Yeah, definitely. It's Power 106. It's Sour Milk, Just Incredible, LA Leakers.